Yeah, how many of you guys are looking into how many of you, first of all, have watched Project Zephyr? That stuff is wild. It terrifies me. I don't even know if that's shit. Who cares? Then making sure that these things go up, and then I have to realize, like, I have another life past this. Okay, sorry. With the little delay. Okay. I'm gonna just play. Just being paranoid. If you're paranoid and a conspiracy, Alex Jones. And I was like, I'm gonna take that as his delivery. But you know what? Right about stuff, and you don't like somebody's delivery. Like, if you can stop and get how somebody's and realize, like, wait, what they kind of I'm not. There's been a lot of what he said. I think people don't really understand that he's wrong about half homeless. Care about the homeless. How do you care about the homeless? Well, I care about doing for them because I'm here. I meet down and I'll give a little something or whatever I might have in my cup, but like of it. Am I checking in on that corner that's just no longer there? Where do you understand that the people, if you're home world nation, that means no family that you can either burned all this. It also means no really and giving about you, you're homeless with kids. What happens? Well, you end up going to, and like they're just thing to dive down because it's these people's fault. Like, there is a design to this system. They end up in these. This is one of the videos I was able to save, and thankfully Rick sent it to me, and I thought that it was deleted by now. And I promise you guys, remember Hurricane Harvey that they were interviewing and what he said about why he's not in the shelter? I'm just going to play it and hope you hear this. But there were like several videos like this that are out. Okay, hold on. So this one's Hurricane Harvey. Sorry about this background lines here. I don't know how to try to look this one up if you can. Salvation Army killing people in listen to how this interrupts his ass.
Thank you for shelter here. Why are you outside?
Inside, yes, for me. And against homeless sheltering people were caught killing.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So clearly you're homeless, and there are some challenges that you face, sir. Curious, what has it been like out here for you?
It's been a little miserable since about 12 o'clock last night. It wasn't too bad before then. About 12 o'clock, lightning, the power went out in the neighborhood over here. And I'm actually a police officer.
Okay, sir. I'm curious, as you're here and you're trying to survive outdoors, do you want us to call somebody to get you some help? Will you go to a place if we get the police or the fire department to come here?
if there's anything available, that's
Okay.
one reason nowhere.
We're going to see what we can do for you, Jake, okay? I know we've given him a little bit of food. We've given him some drink. Literally, we were driving here in the hurricane, and we saw him over here. Jake, I know that this is a difficult time for you. We're going to talk to the police department and see if we can help get some help for you to hear, okay? So you and your dog, Bubba, you guys stay here safely. We'll see what we can do. Meantime, the authorities...
So a real journalist and a real reporter, that's a story for you. Where's Jake? Let's go find Jake and let's talk to him about this. What did Jake just say? What did Jake just say? He doesn't want to go into these places because they were caught killing people. And that's not the only interview like this, okay? I mean, look, guys, here's how I roll, okay? I know what I can say to turn a lot of people off, and I say it anyways over the years. And you guys think that this one topic, now it's turned people off. Like, this isn't the only freaking topic. So, welcome. I'm like, how do I go about, you know what I had to do when it came to my Facebook initially, to getting people that were like conservative, to start listening to me? During election time is when I lost a lot of friends, but I didn't care. I was still out there anyways. I wasn't left or right. I was very like libertarian with my views, pretty much just like pointing out a lot of freaking hypocrisy. I got shit on because when that video came out of what Trump had said, right, with the grab them by the you know what, okay? Yeah, that was I was like, oh my God, that's terrible that they caught that he had said this a decade ago. Like, that sounds like, And I was like, but how many of you are freaking going to the theaters this entire month, because it was in the month of February, watching 50 Shades of Grey? Like, I was calling out friends and not tagging them necessarily, but being like, a lot of you guys running around these pussy hats are freaking, So, guys, I was losing people left and right, but, it ended up attracting a lot of, like, military that are pro-Trump to my page, because my posts were being shared. Certain blogs were being shared where I was losing friends, okay? I was just like, no one's condoning locker room talk, but can you like sit back and not be a hypocrite for a second? Lost a lot of people, but gained a lot of people. So here's what happened. A lot of these like military types following me, okay, and loving those kind of posts. And I was like, okay, I'm going to reel them in. And then I'm going to smack down after this election of being like, guess what? You're being poisoned. Then I went down, and a lot of them were kind of turned off initially too. I'd get private messages. Hey, so I really like you for your political posts, but these kind of things, and then we'd have conversations. And this is when I wasn't as busy, and slowly but surely converting them. Because this shit, it's like a religion. When you make people realize that they were in a cult and how and why, but the thing is, here's how you do it. You first have to convince people that you're of sound mind. I could have never convinced these people if they were just like, oh, she's one of those anti-vaxxers. So now that I got a bunch of you guys following me, that although you understand my approach sometimes is like, God, it's a little bit much, there's nothing I could do about that, by the way. I've really tried. But now that I've got enough of you understanding that I know my shit, we're about to talk about some other things here. And then I get these people that are, I really like following you for your vaccine information, but all this other stuff is really unnerving. Well, guess the frick what? So that's my inbox going up. Guys, don't you get it? You cannot come to a conclusion that, oh yeah, they're poisoning us and they're poisoning our babies, and then not go down all the other things that you have been lied to about. This is probably going to turn into 2 lives, because the next live, for those that stick around, I got some other bombs I want to throw onto you before I take a weekend off. Like, I'm going to need to take a weekend off. I got to get, like, recollect myself. And here's how it has to go when you're leveling up in becoming woke, okay? Because these levels are kind of cray. They're kind of cray. We've done the levels before for many of you who are on here. I gotta redo the levels because I know I'm past level 13 at this point. I'm definitely past. Like, when I was doing these back in March, I was like, and now I know how far gone I am. Like, I know how far gone, and I'm okay with that because there's certain levels that you get to where you need to take a break from everything else. You're on a certain level and you're just like, dude, I gotta back away, and you gotta take that week. You have to take that week to, like, recollect yourself. It's all in a training. It's that whole circling the square thing, or is it squaring up the circle, or is it circling up the square? I keep forgetting. But when you're learning new skills and new things, a lot of time I find myself now when I go down certain rabbit holes of truth, I will be asked a question that's very basic about, like, the TDAP, that I'll have to stop myself and be like, wait, what was that one again? Where was that? Like, really? And it's something that I've been doing for like 10 years. And I'll find myself, because you're learning new skills. It's like when your baby is learning how to talk first, when your baby starts talking first and starts doing whatever little things in their progress of being a baby, and then they suddenly learn how to walk. People don't realize this, but there's like a couple weeks there where they're learning how to walk, where the rest of those skills that they already are pretty good at kind of regress. It's because they're learning a new skill. It's like when Adam, who does like he's pretty much the guy for like the TRS and everything, when he did a whole video, like, he knew how to play the piano his entire life from childhood, okay? But because he was teaching himself how to learn Hebrew, he was teaching himself how to read and write in Hebrew, and he was also teaching himself how to write with his left hand. When he went back to the piano while learning all of this stuff, suddenly he didn't know how to play the piano. And he was like tripping out, like, what is going on? Did I forget how to play the piano? How does that even happen? No, it's because you are taking on new skills. You're taking on new information. It's a lot to process. So now he knows how to do all of it. He's like getting the Hebrew down. He can write with his left hand, and he can play the piano again, and even better. It's a regression before you jump up to the next thing. So a lot of you who are taking in this information, I want to tell you, you got to give yourself these breaks. We were not designed to take on information like this. We simply were not. Do I want to go down right now on a live, all of this crap with the, like, this is how they get rid of, like, the homeless? Not really. Not freaking really. I mean, I'm going to drop some stuff here, but I'm going to make it so that you do your work on your own, okay? Because I don't want to be the only one doing this, and that's just putting a target on myself. So you need to start doing this research when it comes to all of this, but please just understand, like, Walmart's, I'm going to say it, Walmart's, go down that rabbit hole of how they are pretty much the FEMA centers, okay? That's what's going to be used for Walmart. Martial law. Where do you think people are going to go? Where do you think people are going to go when they, after the 72-hour mark, when they don't have food anymore that's fresh? When they don't have, if the grid shuts down, if the lights and everything and the phone and all of this just blacked out, you know what's going to happen? First of all, by day 2 is rooting and is the looting and the rioting. That's when that happens. And you're in a place that's basically unarmed. You've been convinced in the section that you're in, like California, that guns kill people and only the government should have them. There's one. So if you're not the first thing you need in a survival situation is protection. Because they're not going to come and protect your ass. Okay? It takes 15 minutes for the cops when you want to call 911 and you're not going to be able to, for them to even get to your door. Do you know what somebody could do to you in 15 minutes with cruel intention? Can you wake up? Can you start getting it? Piece this shit together, like, and soon. I can't believe I still have friends and acquaintances out there that genuinely believe that, like, the gun in their house can wake up one night and just like grow a personality and like go and kill people. Morons. Morons. It's embarrassing. And I'm seeing some of their posts and I'm just like, God, I'm gonna say it. It's so embarrassing. Okay? You've been lied to. Forgive yourself for falling for it and start suiting up. There is nothing more empowering for a woman. You want to talk about women's rights? There is nothing more empowering for a woman than holding a piece to protect your ass, okay? And then you got to ask, why do I have to register this? Why, if I own it 100% and I don't owe a dime on this, do I need to now report to the state that I have this and like license it? Like, then you start going down the like, oh shit, it's because we were slaves, we're still slaves, we're owned by the banks. Gun rights are women's rights, thank you. So like, I can't with people. If you're seriously like that freaking duped, you're pretty far gone. I don't know. So you need the protection. Obviously, water is a big one. Can't survive without water for 3 days, right? That's the max. You can't, and then you need, my dad's just always been like guns, ammo, my whole life. So please start looking into that because they know that the average citizen only has the 72-hour mark. And what are these people going to do? The people that don't know what to do, that are freaking out, okay? The people that are freaking out, we're all going to be freaking out. It's just the more you know, the more equipped you are, the less freaked out you are. That's how this works. You're a little bit more brave in an instance like a catastrophe, okay? The person in the movie that freaks out first, that's screaming, going, oh my God, we're all gonna die, they die. That's how this works. If you're in a situation that needs survival skills, you also have to tell yourself, I'm not dying today. You got to grab the person closest to you that you love and care about, and you got to shake them and say, we're not dying today. Get it together. Do you know how powerful this is? Do you know how powerful this is? If you don't, it's because you've been brainwashed. I'm not here to give you all of my survival whatever, because I don't have that kind of time. I'm working on some stuff too of my own. Like there's a lot of things we're prepping for, but it applies to our family, okay? We're a family of 5. Our needs are different than your needs. So I'm not going to waste your time too. You can go online and you need to just figure out how to be equipped, okay? Oh my God, those people are so paranoid. Now moving into the next thing here, because I can't continue showing you videos like this on a live right now. I don't feel comfortable. I'm using like apps like Signal and Telegram when I'm communicating back and forth with friends and family. We have a landline because certain parts of the country, like if the grid goes down, you're not going to be able, a landline could go down too. But there have been instances where it's still working when the rest of this stuff isn't, okay? Landlines are important, or knowing somebody with that. Knowing somebody in middle America where you're not is important. Do you know how we were trained as kids? I'll give you like one little tip. It may work for you, it may not. But for us, we had to memorize a number. Not just our parents' phone numbers. Remember back then when you actually had to memorize numbers? There was a phone number for a missionary couple that were really close to my parents, but they were in Nebraska. All right? We were taught at a very young age. I'm talking kindergarten. The first ages where you're sending your kid off to be educated by strangers. We were taught this number. If something happens, call this number. But what if I'm the first to call? If you're the first to call, you tell them, this is where I'm at. This is what's going on. I might not have any other way to reach you because at the time you'd have to be borrowing somebody else's phone, right? So we would do these kind of drills. We would have family drills. People aren't doing this shit anymore. And they expect other people to like teach them how to do it. Nobody's got family drills anymore. Like we do stuff like this with our kids. I'd film some of them, but I don't really want to. I used to want to, and now all the more with all this stuff going on, I'm like, I don't want to show anybody that. But yeah, we go over this kind of stuff with our kids. So then what would happen? Well, what happens is if I call in first to Charlie and I say, Charlie, I'm here. Okay, great. Talia, I haven't heard from your parents yet, but if you're able to call back in a day or two, call me back and let me know. So then what happens? If my dad calls Charlie, hey, Charlie, this is what happened, whatever, cataclysmic event. Yeah, okay, hey, I heard from Talia. She's here at this location at this hour is when she called me. Like, it's that kind of just, do you get it? I feel like I don't have to elaborate on that too much. I mean, just, I've had talks, I've even had my dad on here, like, growing up all my life, it's like, you got to think like a criminal to catch a criminal. Like, we were taught a lot of this stuff as kids that's really, like, stayed with us into adulthood. Like, do you have something in your car to bust out the windows? Do you have something to just break it if something were to happen and you were to, like, fall into a lake with your car? Do you know what you could use to do that? Like, skills like this. Oh my God, that's so scary. That's so horrifying. You know what's scarier? Not knowing what to do. So we have to get back to this, like, human, like, where, you know, and that goes down. God, I can't with these. It's like too many things to go down, and I feel bad if I keep straying away. But it's, you know, fathers who are actually, like, they have that protective, like, lion beast, like, that is a father. Last I checked, your job is not just to keep the lights on in the house. Because guess what? If they want to turn the lights off, they can turn the fucking lights off whenever they want. So your job is to protect your offspring. It's to protect, like, men need to find that back in them. And if you've got men walking around this planet right now that, like, are feeling that they just don't know what to do with their lives, so many of them are freaking, it's 40% of it wanting to kill themselves in their 50s. Probably because they've lost that, like, human in them to just, like, care for and help and be, like, some kind of productive member of society. Just, like, don't worry if you feel like you don't have it in you. Like, just know that you've been lied to and you can get that back. You can get those instincts back. You don't have to go and be exactly Gaston, like we were talking about the other day. You don't have to be that. And it's not just the estrogen in the water that they're putting in the water. Get out of California, man. You know that all those prescription pills that people are addicted to, do you know that shit's all over your tap water? Have you seen it? Have you seen the levels of this stuff? It's worse than the Aaron Brockovich movie. You are taking water that has medication in it that is hormone. There's atrazine in your water. Atrazine, look that up. NCBI PubMed. Atrazine. What is it doing to animals? Well, for frogs, it's turning the male ones into female. You're cooking with this water. You're bathing in this water. Levels there are high in California, especially in the Bay Area. Go figure. We're the most confused, the most, like, gender confused. Check check what's in their water. All right, where was I going next with this? I've got too many people in this like, they don't know what to do. And I don't, look, if you don't know what to do, I don't know your location. I don't know what exactly, like, situation you're living in. And I'm not equipped. Like, I'm barely equipped to figure out what to do with my family. Figure it out for your family. This is the reason they're saying the future is female. Yeah, probably. No one's batting an eye, like, that our infertility rate is that freaking high. Are you kidding me? So, okay, let me go into something else that could be a little bit more productive and, for some of the newbies that I know are still watching this, because I'm getting, like, swamped with, but what do I do for my kid? You need to first consider who it is you're taking your kid to. And when I speak, and I don't have the exact solution for things, but I know my number one solution for you parents that are so confused in this is you have to first of all take charge of your own life. You have to get to a place where you need to accept that this life is your damn responsibility and your kids are your responsibility. And it's a terrible, terrible crossroads to come to when you have outsourced just about everything in your life. This is why these talks people don't like hearing them. Yeah, the earthquakes going on right now are freaking terrifying. Maybe I should do another live later where we're showing. Check this one out too then if you have the time, because I don't know, because then I want to move into the next thing here. Hold on. This one, this California under attack. You know, there's a lot of people that are already checking this out. So California under attack, 5 explosion fires across the state. Tell me that turning off the power is doing anything.
Guys, this is an emergency broadcast for anybody that you know in California or have any way that you can get information to people in California. It's been said and known in the last little bit that there was a fire that outbroke in Sandalwood, California. It's east of LA, okay? Up in the foothills, east of LA, down the valley there, basically. You can see it in the center of the screen. It's 2 explosions that look to be about, I don't know, probably 30, 40 miles apart. There are 2 different fires that exploded at the exact same moment there. You can see them in the center of the screen. 2 fires, 2 locations, 2 explosions. Well, the only thing is there are 3 more. If you look over to the right-hand side of your screen, out in front of the bubble.
So you can't view it too well on this. Sorry, guys. You'd have to look up this
right in front of the bubble, the little orange bubble on the right side of the screen. You see that one?
It's right here.
At the exact same moment, these 2 other explosions take place. One on the right-hand side, and I don't know that exact location yet.
I mean,
explodes and takes place.
This kind of stuff, sorry, you guys.
To the north,
it's really unnerving. You're not able to see these.
At the state line, another explosion takes place at the exact same moment. It can be seen to the right of the screen.
I'm terrified. I'm really scared for my friends and family that are out that way. It's like, but what more freaking warnings do you need? Do you need it to be that you can't turn your phone on and get a hold of anybody to realize that, holy crap, the shit's hit the fan already? This is really really upsetting at this point. Because people are still staying there. They're still stuck. Look at all of these articles coming out. Los Angeles Police Department is going to clear homeless camps in fire danger zones, okay? When the Santa Ana winds hit. How many people are sending in stuff? How many of you are in counties that there is actually no wind going on and your power is out? Same with, there are some people where they're like, well, there is kind of a wind. There's 40 mile an hour wind or 30 mile an hour wind. And so you got these people that are grateful that the power's out. Okay. Oh God. And then you got, damn, there's way too many stuff to go down right now. Your national weather. Are you kidding me? How do I go this? How do I say this without, it's, you guys, it's one big experiment. How far can people go when your fridge goes bad? How far, when the grocery stores have no more food on the shelves, when you can't cook on an electric stove, or your phone stops charging? How long can these people go? And they already know their answers. If you've now gone and looked into the difference between the Gwen towers and the 5G towers, you know that the people that are putting up these Gwen towers are I shouldn't even be talking about this stuff, but they're privately owned companies, okay? And they're putting them up all over the place. There's a difference between the cell towers but you gotta look this stuff up. I've done lives on this before and I've gone more in depth. Watch them have, okay, all this stuff's going to clear out, power's going to go back on, and how many of these Gwen towers are you going to see around you that are just popped up? Those things are emitting EMFs, okay? There's also a lot of stuff in pedo wood that they got to get rid of. So, prediction here. Epstein died, and you got people that actually believe the bogus story of how he died. The guy's not dead. You have people that literally, they believe it. They believe that somebody that was under 24-hour surveillance hung himself. They believe it. And it's laughable. And you're going, oh my God, really? Like that guy, have you seen his black book? Why is like Los Angeles just not, like that county's just like not in the zone for this? I don't know. I mean, Gavin Newsom lives there. Like what? These people that pass these terrible laws and that have basically sold California to China. Do you understand? It's too much. I know it's too much for some of you. California is not even owned by California anymore. There are 4 families that have owned California for the past 80 years. Look them up. The Getty family, Pelosi, the Newsom family. They freaking interbreed and mix with each other, and then it's like the next leader that pops up, Jerry Brown, they're all connected. The only like, whoop, was Schwarzenegger. But you know, he ended up, you really think that guy made any of the call? Like, he didn't make any of the calls. California has been owned. And that's why all of these people that are voting for these disgusting tyrannical bills, you guys, they're being bought by China. Their pockets have been lined. You can't get them to vote no. You can't get them to vote no on 276 when they've said yes to millions and millions of dollars. Good grief. And I'm just saying, I know that all of America's pretty corrupt, but you're living in a testing ground state. They've made it a sanctuary city, too. It is perfectly legal in California to knowingly have HIV and sleep with somebody, not telling them, infecting them, and that's not a felony. Because a degenerate politician said so. And this same degenerate politician is for mandates, is against children who don't currently have said disease going to school because it's dangerous. Like, are we not? What do you think happens to the homeless? And it does disturb people when they realize that we are living in a time where these concentration camps, they didn't really go anywhere. You're just not seeing them anymore. Operation Paperclip. I said it. Operation Paperclip. All those Nazi scientists that were testing on the Jewish people, like all of those guys, you think that they killed them? They didn't kill them. They needed their research. How do you think we have the science that can tell you what temperature it takes to burn a human being to where their bones are actually, why do you think we have that kind of science? These people were brought here to DC. They weren't even given a slap on the wrist. They're continuing their experiments on us. Why do you think there's fluoride poison in our water? Holy shit. Ugh. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, guys. Curfews. There's just curfews. And then there's morons that are grateful for the curfews. They're just looking out for us. Go away, please. Go away. Like, I don't even want you on my team or like close to me and my family if you're of that mindset. Like, you're gone. You're not on my team, buddy. Like, if you're going to be flocking to them to help you. Because you're going to be grateful for the showers at the FEMA camp that are filled with arsenic up the wazoo. Because you're going to go, well, it's a nice thing that they're at least letting us shower. I don't want anything to do with you or people to think like you. So stay out of my inbox, please. Operation Paperclip, you're right. It's not even a hidden thing anymore. There's a woman that like goes around and like her one job. Well, what's her name? She's all over YouTube. I'm telling you, I'm taking up way too much information right now that I'm losing it in how I'm supposed to speak because I've gone down a few more things that I'm not even ready to talk about here. So, and yeah, I guess maybe I am starting to sound like Jones. But the thing is, my tinfoil hat looks like a crown at this point, and those things are actually pretty good when it comes to like not allowing the EMFs to like come towards you. So I was actually looking into like, how do you make a tinfoil hat fashion? You know, advocacy, but make it fashion. Tinfoil hat, but make it fashion. I'm going to start wearing beanies and baseball caps and like just lining the insides of them because that's actually like extra protection for you. Because this is a kill switch. Why are they putting a bunch of Gwen towers all around us where they can, and then they're spraying stuff above us to where all of that stuff that's coming down, barium, lithium, you guys, it's like gas chamber USA. That's why. Why do you think I have to laugh about this sometimes or else I'll go nuts? And then people are like, well, then what do you do? How do you live a normal life? Well, we talked about this like several lives ago, you know? Sex is free. Just be one less hoe though, but sex is free. And that helps. How do I keep a smile on my face? I don't know. Don't do it. The sky is covered. It's always covered. We don't even have that real sun anymore because they know the sun gives life, but then they've lied to you and they told you that it causes skin cancer. No, it absolutely doesn't. Call me what you want. All the shit you're putting on your skin that you think is natural, but there's still chemical in there, everything that's been approved, think of all the lotions you've allowed yourself to use. Look at the back of your sunscreen, the basic sunscreen that they're selling you at the store. Look at what's in it. When the sun is combined with those chemicals and they're all over your skin, hello, now you have higher chances for melanoma. Now your chances have just... Nobody wants to piece this shit together. But then what do you use then? Well, we don't go out, really. We don't put ourselves in the sun during like these hours when it's just like too much. But I've never put sunscreen on myself, my kids, like of the last like decade that's gone by. I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, my parents were spraying me with Banana Boat because they were lied to. Okay, but other than that, like we don't use any of that stuff. Have you tried not putting chemical all over your skin and body? Like it's hard when you've already got so much chemicals going on in your body. But have you tried not lining yourself with that kind of stuff? And you're going to have the people that are, oh my God, she actually said that the sun does not cause... You really think that our perfect creator, you think that our creator would have put you on this planet and put something that's going to be up, giving the planet life? It gives plants life. It helps them grow. You think that he's going to make that shit poison? No. The evil in this world made that shit poison. Carrot seed oil. I can say that because I'm not selling oils, right? Carrot seed oil. Do you guys know like the power that's in that stuff? You don't want to use anything that's got like a citrus to it because... Lemons, limes, think about how beautifully designed these things were. They have that chemical in them because food has chemical, but God, I'm telling you, I'm going off on too many things, so I can't even do my citrus talks right now. But the reason why they don't rot out and that they can last longer is because they have their own UV within them to like keep the fruit. Okay, so there's that. It's not even a rabbit hole to go down. That's like science, which is why if you put stuff with citrus onto your skin and onto your kid's skin, you can burn. So don't use citrus. Use like carrot seed oil. Just so basic. I've gone down. Go follow Rose Uncharted. She did a whole thing and then she got attacked. Of course, she got attacked by people who sell skin product for, because for them, that's their livelihood, is making people so afraid of getting skin cancer. But go follow her. It's just like very, very basic shit. Okay? And yeah, but it sucks, but I'm not ready to make my own. There were companies, the companies that go 100% organic on stuff, their shit doesn't last. I'm sorry if I'm cussing a lot. I'm sorry if your kids watch this stuff. It doesn't last. You got to use it within like 2 months. And that's going to bother you, right? To continue to purchase it. Well, then make it yourself. Really, there was, I think, what is it, that Lush company, some all organic natural company. And then what happened like 6 months in? They had to like refund half of their customer base because people were finding mold in their shampoo bottles. Well, yeah, because if you're not putting certain chemical in there, it's going to mold. You got these parents that are losing their minds because they got all organic whatever for their kid, but they're looking at the back of this snack and it's got citric acid in it. It's got all these preservatives. Well, why do you think it has to have that stuff? It has to have that stuff because you're not willing to make it yourself at home for them. If you make gummies for your kids, if you're making elderberry for your kids, it doesn't have a year shelf life. That's how it works. So yeah, if you're not ready to make your own shampoo, if you're not ready to make your own lotions, then you know what? At least the stuff's not mandated and forced on us, but then you gotta just choose accordingly. Well, I'm gonna have to sacrifice on this. The HempWorks company that I'm with, well, I got bummed out because I found out recently that their line of hair products, although they were she's organic, all vegan, gluten-free, and then but guys, this is like most companies, okay? So they're still worlds better now than like any shampoo that I've ever used that's in my tub. But they have that ingredient in there that nobody likes called fragrance. It's to keep their secret. It's why it smells so delicious, right? It's like that secret ingredient. Well, they don't have to divulge that because that's their... But I have to now say, well, am I going to make lotion today? Because my breast milk lotion that we do make only lasts like, a month in the fridge? Maybe 2 months? Because it's a live thing. But you know what? You'll have people complaining and literally if you open up their pantries, everything you pull out. Oh... Hypocrite, 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 hypocrite. How many of you go look at your pantries right now, the things that you've given your kids that have citric acid in it? Okay? We're not 100% with anything in life. You got to pick and choose now, though. Pick your poison. It's called picking your poison. Which is why I don't talk about all of this stuff as much, because these things are still not mandated. The topic that I've spent most of my life on right now at this point is if you're going to mandate a product that comes with risks, then I'm going to be pissed off. You had a doctor, who was it the other day on that thread that was like, on that Twitter thread, who keeps comparing vaccines to food products. Oh, imagine if your favorite food was forced. Would you not eat it? Actually, bitch, probably not. If you're going to mandate my favorite meal, I might have some questions now. Even if it's my favorite thing to eat. If you're going to mandate bananas, I got questions on bananas. If you're going to mandate any of it, I got questions. Oh my gosh, these absolute net negative. And we got to respect these people? That's going to lead up into my next talk here about who it is you're actually respecting and taking your kids into. I'm going to show the Kaiser doc for those that haven't seen it. And I'm also going to show what some doctors are actually doing in their training and why if you're an informed parent, you better just learn how to fix a kid with a broken arm at this point. And you better learn how to, don't take my word for it. But I got to show you what it is that they're actually doing with the information you're presenting to them in those rooms and how they're documenting this, because it is trash. There is a lot extra. I'm going to go down that. I'm going to go down something else that's going to make you very uncomfortable. It's probably going to take away your childhood dreams right now. But this is where we're at as a society. Everything that works, though, if you haven't noticed, is things that go back to just like the nuclear family, going back to the perfect design. When you go back to that, I'm not telling you to go live in a forest and just like never wear shoes again for the rest of your life, although it's going to probably cure every chronic ailment that you have right now. I'm not going to tell you to do that because I'm not even ready to do that. We were just trying to take a family picture the other day and there were lizards around us. And I was like, oh, you know, like every time I go out into the wild, which is like just dirt, I'm suddenly an idiot. Okay? I'm suddenly defective. And my husband is looking at me going, we're not going to survive. We won't survive. You want to, wait, where you want to live now? Montana? You can't deal with some lizards on the ground? I'm like losing it. But this is everything that you're, where you're in right now, the space you're in, the comfort zone that you're in right now, the reason you're not freezing while watching this live, it's been about human beings who have tried everything that they can to put themselves in a situation where they're not in that environment anymore. Do you get it? But the closer that you do get back to that environment, which, whatever, brush up on your survival skills, the better things will be for you. Okay? Well, I don't know why I gotta wear all these, like, you know, the clothes I'm wearing and then going down that rabbit hole. I don't want to support people that, like, have enslaved children in third world countries to make their clothes at $0.10 an hour. Oh, you don't? You literally have to make your own clothes then. Are you ready to make your own clothes? Because have you seen the stuff that they're selling at Whole Foods? The clothes there? First of all, they're way overpriced. Second, they're hideous. I'm like showing my husband this stuff. I think Vicky, I don't know if Vicky's on here anymore, but we should have done a Whole Foods live, girl. Because I was like, oh, great. So to be sustainable, I gotta look like I'm wearing a bag. Okay? Buy fair trade clothing. Okay, you could support local, but like you're buying stuff that's, I mean, fine. Do what you want. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying. All of this is like, I'm just saying. You know, these kids in these third world countries that are making this stuff too, do you know that their families are actually really grateful that after school, the kids go to a factory and work instead of going out and working the track and being sex trafficked? Do you know that they're like actually grateful? I'm not saying I condone it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not telling you to go support H&M. I am not telling you to go and support these companies. But I'm telling you what the reality is in third world countries right now. Where if that was your life and you had a choice because you have to work 15 hours a day and there is nobody to watch your babies and there's a factory willing to take them in and pay them almost nothing, you'd rather your kid be there than be sex trafficked. Okay? You know that, like, ultimately the biggest issue in all of this and the rabbit hole that you go down when you realize that the people in charge running the show are big-time pedophiles who love to, like, engage in this with children because there is sex trafficking here in America. Look at the desert spots in Arizona. Look at what people are reporting, what they're finding in the desert, okay? They're finding dolls. It's actually really heartbreaking and it turns my stomach. But when you do go down that path, don't talk to me, okay? When you go down that road and you spend a couple weeks on that and you look up what happened to these Hampstead kids, is it Hampstead? Am I saying the last name right? Because that one ruined me. I don't think I could, I really couldn't concentrate on anything for like 2 months. And this was a couple years ago. It ruined me. It doesn't mean it's still not happening. It just means that I've like accepted that this is happening. And it's still really hard and painful to talk about. But when you go down that road, stay away from me. Don't message me in this inbox. Like just, I know, I get it. I know. Trust me. Everything that your body is going to go through, your emotions, your everything, because you're still a human being that has like empathy. If you're still there, you know, if you haven't been so calcified. Like if you love children, just break away, like stay away from me. Don't go into it. That one's a hard one. That case, I cannot with that case. Okay. All of these big time events, thank you for bringing up the Super Bowl, by the way. You think, when those things are happening, those big events, they're always in child sex trafficking hotspots. Dude, how many of these things am I going down today? And you're still trusting people with your kids. The number one place for pedophiles to work before they're caught, before a pedophile has a record, you guys think like, well, I can live in this neighborhood because it's close to a school, because pedophiles aren't allowed to register close to schools. First of all, a lot of these pedophiles, they can live with their parents in their parents' basement. They don't have to register anywhere. That thing that happened in Escondido where it was like how many of those women that were jogging in that local park? You guys remember that case? This was years ago, if you're from San Diego. There was somebody that was like just raping female joggers, like young female joggers all over this area in San Diego. Come to find out, it was this guy. It took them a while to catch him, but it was this guy who was like living with his parents, but he was already a registered sex offender. And people are literally like, you're taking your kids to the happiest place on earth. You know what? That happiest place on earth is also for pedophiles. And people make fun of me that I leash up my kids. First of all, I don't call it a leash. I call it a safety harness. Going out in public like this, there's some days when I go out that I look like a teenager, okay? I'm going to have my husband leash me to his waist as we walk around. Guys see us walking around. It's going to look like Jeff is walking a family of 4. Leashes everywhere. These people work, before they get caught, they work in schools. How many cases, but yet they want to go after homeschooling families now? Do you know what the rates are? If you look up the statistics of sexual abuse and molestation that happens in schools, it's like every one of us knows of a girl or somebody that got molested by a teacher. We all already know somebody that got taken advantage of by a predator in a school setting. The main security guard, or one of them apparently, that I just found out that was at my high school that I went to in San Diego, was just this past year arrested for having buttloads of child pornography, okay? And he was already an old man. I swear to you, you are sending your kids off. Where do you think, if you're a pedophile, where do you want to work? If you don't have a record yet, but you have an inkling in you to like be with children sexually. Where are you trying to? You're not trying to apply at Home Depot. You're not trying to go where? Hello? You're trying to work anywhere where there's children. Why do you think when they get caught, it's always somebody that worked in a setting with kids? Fuck, dude, come on. Oh, but like, I have to send my kids to like that daycare though, because like, who's gonna pay for my Amazon Prime account? Like, I gotta keep the Netflix running. You gotta keep this running at all times. It's not just those in charge that are like these, they're normalizing this stuff and nobody is seeing it. They're not seeing the agenda for what it is. Damn. Look who they're actually going after. Look who actually gets arrested. You guys see that? A couple years ago, Disney World, there were like 35 employees that they found at Disney World. Some of them the mascots, okay? That your kids sit on their laps. That were caught. They were registered sex offenders. Disney World. Okay, this topic is making me so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Because I'm not even perfect about it, but ooh, it just takes the one. It just takes the one. I'm going to tell you the power that these people have also over children. You guys think that I'm a pretty strong person. This is going to cut me off and I'm going to jump back on. I'm going to tell you about a maid I had as a kid, okay? And what they did to me. And you guys are going to be like, what? How, Talia? You're so like... And I'm already saying somebody like me, okay? This is the power that these adults have. And this person was like such a idiot. Didn't even make it past a 3rd grade education. And this is what she was able to do to me. So tune back in. Hopefully this saves. It might not, but let's see. I'll be back on in like 3 minutes.